Good morning, guys. Good day. Good moment of you, guys. Every moment is an opportunity to gain greater awareness of you, of your own energy, of the energy that you are playing in, the energy that you are embodying. Every moment is an opportunity to gain that reflection of yourself in your present moment. Every moment is also an opportunity to gain greater expansion through your awareness, observing, being present with your energy now as you watch your energy play out and create before you. It gives you an opportunity to decide if that is the energy that is representative of you, of who you truly are, of what you truly want to create, and what you truly want to materialize. Hey Tristan, good greetings. Grand rising of you guys. Please share out if you don't mind. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can do any sharing out. Just popping on per usual. I was at the gym and I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers, Ireland Clark, and I was just really gaining a lot of insight and activations and awareness as I was working out and contemplating and reflecting on my own energy. Like Spirit always says, every moment is an opportunity to gain awareness, to allow, to align, to observe more and more of yourself, and to expand and to grow. And so I just wanted to just share some insight of all of that. Oh, sorry, I'm hearing something in my left ear. My sound is
Kristen, can you let me know if my sound is fine? All of a sudden I heard something and then it said headphones connected. So what I wanted to talk about today is what matters to you. And it's funny, the way it really hit me this morning when I heard what matters to us is what matters literally materializes. What matters is what we're creating thank you, Tristan, is what we're creating. So what matters. It literally matters in the sense that what matters to us, we are putting our attention, our awareness on. And as God source creators, we are light, love, constantly creating through our awareness of our energy. What we focus on grows, but also what matters to us materializes. It creates matter. It forms into matter. And I just thought something so simple is so profound. What matters to us materializes. But sometimes what we do is we focus our thoughts, our energy on awareness on those things that actually don't matter, things that we actually don't want to create into matter. Co-creating, manifesting, where attention goes, energy flows. Absolutely. And it is through our awareness that we actually create that reality, that object, that matter. Just like in quantum physics, they say it doesn't exist, an atom doesn't exist until we bring our attention, our focus to it. So what matters. It creates, informs, and presents in our hologram. And a lot of times we are focusing on things that we don't actually want to create. Now, Spirit is saying this is a common sense message. It's a back to basics, but it's taking it to another level of understanding. So a lot of times we are actually creating things that don't actually matter to us because we don't realize we're focusing our attention on what matters, not to ourselves, but what matters to the collective, or what matters to preconceived ideas, programming, beliefs, thought forms, things that we have been programmed, and that a lot of times they're running on autopilot and we don't really realize that. But when we bring our attention to the now, when we see that which we've created, how do we feel about it? What are we aware of? Because we're at a higher frequency, so our awareness is greater. We're more like that hawk or the eagle, where we're able to gain that higher perception as we dissipate the idea of separation, the illusion of separation, the idea of polarities, anything being separate outside of us. And as we become more unified in our energy, we are more powerful. So now that we are calling back those soul fractals or integrating our energy, we are seeing with a greater, fuller picture, a higher perception of our own truth. So now we're able to have a conscious awareness of what we're creating and what's before us and what aligns to our heart and what doesn't. So every moment truly is a moment to align, to bring awareness, to embody, to reflect, literally get the reflection in our outside world of our energy, and to reflect within us. What does that mean? Is that in alignment? Is that an old energy? Am I creating something that I thought that mattered that literally does not matter? So a lot of times we're creating and wanting things based on an expectation of the old energy, and that energy is still lingering because enough people are believing in it. We're still observing it. We're still bringing awareness to it. But what we're being called to now is to shift from that energy, to shift from that illusion, to create a new reflection hologram through our awareness, through our consciousness. So when we're aware of something in our hologram that is not resonating, that is not applicable, that is not connect or aligned to our soul any longer, as we bring awareness through to it, but not judging it, because then judging it makes it matter more. So through the resistance and judgment of something in our awareness, we literally make it matter more, meaning densify into our, solidify into our reality even more. So when we see something from that higher awareness, we're now unifying it with our ego or with our human self. So we can observe something within our physical body that we might be thinking and catching ourselves and saying, oh, that's interesting. That's me still thinking that I need to do this or do that, or appear this way or that way, or be appropriate, or be politically correct, or be whatever. We're observing ourselves from an awareness that we really are taking the observer from a more neutral standpoint. And now through that higher awareness, which is just pure light, we're able to alchemize and change that hologram. We're able to transmute that energy just through the awareness, not through judging, just allowing it through this higher awareness. Well, it's the higher awareness, it's the greater consciousness that we are perceiving from now that literally transforms the energy of the old hologram, because we're seeing it from that hawk, from that ego, from that higher light, from that higher frequency. Hey, Facebook user. The great illusion in 3D is separation. Exactly. It's separate. It's separate from us, the 3D, the matrix. It's separate. Okay. I'm just going to bring forth something else that came to me yesterday in a conversation with Caleb that I was contemplating. And he was talking about how he was talking to his dad, and his dad believes in a Jesus outside of us. And he said something to the effect, Jesus is the way, or Jesus is the salvation. He's very religious. And then I says to Caleb, well, he is, as in my perception of Jesus, which is unconditional love. The physical Jesus was that master holding that space for the collective, for that reflection of what we were, that we have within us, but to get that outside reflection and to gain that knowledge. So I'm like, well, he is. the way. And then Caleb says, well, yes, not from the outside perspective, though. And then I went into the kitchen, was doing my stuff. I just came back from a run. And then I came back out and I said to Caleb, I said, well, Caleb, actually, he's right, because if there is no separation, if everything is coming from within us, then that is also true. Everything outside of us is us as well. So it kind of put me in a spot where it was very paradoxical. It was very trippy to think of, because even in our spiritual beliefs, sometimes we're still creating the idea of separation. So the outside, we say, yeah, that is the illusion of separation. So in one way, yes, it is, because we're thinking it's a power outside of us. So from Caleb's dad's perspective, he was holding the frequency, the consciousness of, yes, it is still outside of us. But from my perception, I said, no, he is right, because everything outside of us is us. So even within the illusion, even within that 3D hologram, depending, because we're still here physical, we're still in this timeline experiencing that hologram, we're able to dissipate the separation within the hologram. Just food for thought. Just something that was very profound and hit me yesterday that I never ever thought of. So everybody who claims of that power outside of them, Jesus or a guru or a master or a healer or a medical doctor or a teacher, whatever that is, even though they seem to be given that power to something outside of them, what they might not be conscious of is it's still them. So then, once we know there's no separation, hey Tam, Wild Blue, once we know there's no separation outside of us, then we actually, this is so cool, we actually kind of merge with the hologram and work symbiotically in unity with it. This is so empowering, because even in the idea of separation or the illusion of separation, we're still creating an idea that something is still separate, but nothing is separate. It is just reflecting many, many different layers, many, many different frequencies, many, many different lenses of us. So it's still not separate. Even the idea of separation is not separate. So anyways, just food for thought. I just like, because normally I would agree with Caleb. Like, I would normally say that is not true. There is not a Jesus, or the way they said it was, pretty much like, that is above you, but really Jesus is not above us, or the way, in the sense that he is us, that energy within us, that frequency. So it's always this and that. We create the illusion of separation, yet there really is no separation. And even in buying into separation, we're creating sort of an idea of separation. But anyways, all right. So today's thing was to do with, okay, so where we obviously bring our consciousness, where it flows, where it goes is what we're creating. So what matters. So I guess it was more of an insight or a reflection on what matters to you, and why does it matter, and does it matter? Does it really matter? Is it really what you want to materialize? And I love that we were talking about the idea of separation, because nothing is really separate from us. It's about unity, and that's where our power is. So creating from that point of view. So what came to me as well today when I was working out was the idea, even within spiritual communities, thought forms, and all of that, will create these expectations of the way something has to look, gifts, talents, again, nothing separate from us. So then we sort of separate ourselves from thinking we don't have something. So my point is here, say there's a gift, say there's a talent, say there's an ability, say there's something you want to achieve in the sense of metaphysics, healing, awareness growing, unity of the galactics, a way of being we're trying to become. It's almost like trying to become light when you're already light. But my point is here, sometimes we can't seem to achieve, say that idea of channeling. I use this for an example a lot. I wanted to be a channeler, but I wanted my channeling to be like from an outside being, and I could see him or her, or like they were real. And I wanted this certain idea of how it needed to appear or manifest or be communicated or engaging in all of these other energies. Well, maybe the whole reason that I couldn't achieve that idea of something outside of me communicating with me because it was all me anyways. So sometimes we might try to create something that is actually going to digress or regress us. So of course we can't, because we almost have to go backwards into a different way of thinking. And even as I'm speaking, this is making sense. So say I wanted to create, I wanted to channel, I wanted to deliver wisdom, insight, whatever, from something that in a way that I wanted it to be perceived, but I couldn't because I wasn't called to. We're actually called to bring forth that information, that gift, that talent from a place of unity, not separation. Because even in that idea of channeling or mediation, what is it called? Mediumship, all of that kind of stuff. I was trying to create it or achieve it from even an idea of separation, and I couldn't. It all comes from here. It comes from in me. But however, within me, within you, we have many different frequencies. So we do still apply labels, definitions, maybe beings, teach certain teachers, because that's what we're taught. That's the way we identify as a human being. So, but what we're being called to do is do it in a non-separate way, because just like us, this is so beautiful too. What I really realized as well today. Do you know the whole avatar movement? How we all have all of these different avatars? Well, even the avatars are symbolic of us integrating all of our multidimensional self. So every timeline, every multidimensional you is actually an avatar of you, of your God source energy, a fractal, an experience. So you're the sun, but that avatar or that timeline represents one of you, which is an avatar in the soul's experience of the greater self, fractalized. So even all of the avatars that we play with now on Facebook are even symbolic or representation of us calling in all of those avatars, our multi-dimensional self. So what you're being called to when we're trying to achieve something, to get back to my point of manifesting or having a certain spiritual gift or talent or whatever in the world, artistry, a musician, an artist, a teacher, when we are trying to create from that idea of separation, we're going to keep having a hard time. But because we're at a frequency now where we're not being called to create from that idea of separation. In the past, when we were at a different frequency and believing and buying into and creating from that idea of separation and a power outside of us, it worked easier. But now we're at a frequency, awareness, consciousness, that we are really creating from that unity, that integration. So when we try to achieve something outside of us and we can't, it's just a call to achieve, not to achieve, but to allow that integrated part of you to take its place. Through your art, through your music, through your channeling, through whatever it is you're creating, we're being called to create now from an integrated standpoint, not from a paradigm, a belief, a way of doing it in the past, because then we always disempower ourselves. When we try to perform or achieve something and it's just not working with the idea of, oh, I gotta try, I gotta make this happen, I'm having a hard time, it is because you're actually, that hard time is guidance and telling you that, no, you're called to, yeah, maybe channel or create art or music, but from your own light codes, from your own energy, from that within you, not trying to duplicate or copy something outside of you. We are all called to create from a more integrated God self. And yeah, there's many teachers, there's many artists, there's many musicians, but that idea, bringing forth music, bringing forth teaching, is supposed to be coming, is more powerful when we take it from that place within us, not trying to duplicate and allow our own flow, allow our own stamp. So when we are activating and releasing codes of light, releasing them, it just means that we are connecting and flowing with our own imprint and creating from that. So when they say everybody needs your piece of the puzzle, or needs you, or needs your light, it's literally because you have a code of light in expression that you came to materialize, because it matters for your soul's journey. We're here to materialize that which matters to our soul journey now, some creating from a deeper place of creation than the surface, or regurgitating or trying to recreate the past. The past is done. That frequency has been experienced to completion. So now when we can't achieve something, we keep trying to, it's just guidance saying, hey, you have your own take on this. You have your own code of light, your own specific makeup and imprint to bring forth this creation. Hopefully that makes sense. Because a lot of times we become discouraged because we're trying to create from the old energy, and now we're just being called to create from our own light. And when we bring that energy forth, when we materialize that which matters to our soul, when we materialize from that frequency, we are literally changing the hologram. We're changing our reality. We're creating a new world. So that's how this back to basic message is applicable to the hologram, to the 3D, to what we're doing here as a reflection of our new frequency, as we are bringing forth the new world, the new earth, age of it, Aquarius, heaven on earth. It's because we are literally creating from that deep divinity connection within us, our own light codes, and that is created from a greater integration and calling back of all parts of ourselves, realizing nothing was ever separate from us to begin with. There's nothing to fear. There's only expansion, awareness, consciousness as we go forth and bring a new birth of our world. All right. So it seems like people disappeared. So I thought I would just pull a collective reading for you guys, those watching now or later. Magical dimensions, because that's what we're being called to do, create from this new space, this new allowance. It's always been there. It's not new, but what's new about it is it's now being released, allowed, brought forth into our consciousness, into our awareness, because we have allowed it. All right, let's just pull a magical dimensions and see what comes forth. This one. Oh, wow. Perfect. Totally in sync. It's called adventure. We're called to a new adventure, innocence, play, and discovery. So this is that new world. This is like a portal. That portal is within us. Now it's brought into our awareness. Now we have an awareness of what really can be lived, what really can be achieved, what we can really live out as this physical being on this timeline. We're aware of it. Now we hold the key. The key is right there. We hold the key to stepping forth. That means we get a lot of theories, we get a lot of ideas. So this is representing that circle around her, around that being. And now she's going to live it by actually stepping through it. That means taking action. That means allowing the idea of the spiritual understanding to merge with the physical, merging with anything outside. So we get this idea, we get these thoughts, just like everything that I was just speaking of. Well, in order to actually create it in our hologram, to densify it, We got to turn the key. We got to step into that energy. We got to merge with it and be one with it. So we all hold the keys. We all are that portal. We are all that mother giving birth to this new world through our allowance. But what matters, how we materialize it, is actually following through. Spirit is saying, following through on the idea, following through on the theory, being it, embodying it, and then you merge with it. So following through to get to the other side, she's got to walk through it, and she holds the key. She holds the key to doing that through her awareness, through what she wants to focus on, through what she wants to perceive and allow into her reality. What was also coming through today is The Doors. Is that who sings it? Jim Morrison? Get back to the other side, get through to the other side. That song kept playing in my mind all morning. Get to the other side, get through, break through to the other side. Is that the word? Is it Jim Morrison and The Doors? Break through to the other side. So the breaking through to the other side is just simply allowing it, allowing the energy that we're embodying, that we're reflecting on, that we're connecting to become manifest through focusing on that, not that what we don't want, but focusing and allowing that to materialize all that we are releasing and embodying, where we're bringing our light. Again, we don't fight, we don't change through fight and might, we change through our light. Our light is our power, our light is the integration of all parts of us shining brighter and brighter in a higher frequency. So when we put that light on anything that was dense or is no longer serving us or outlive, or that we have fulfilled, then we create that opening. It's through our awareness that we alchemize and transmute and create the opening into the light. So following through, you are the portal, you are the light. Wherever you place your awareness, you are literally creating portals of a higher frequency, taking something that once was limited and making it limitless. You are the unlimited being. You are not meant to be in a cage. You're not meant to conform. You are meant to transform into the light and into transform the world before you into that reflection of your light. So new beginnings, one, very beautiful. All right, guys. Hey, Christy, how are ya? Very beautiful. So it's also not about like banging our heads to and trying to achieve something because we think that's the way. It's about being that way and allowing that resistance or that wall or that block to be our friend as a guidance to show us, oh, I have something that needs to be brought forth. I have something that's coming through me that is individual, that has never been done before or expressed in that unique way. That's what you're being called to do. You're not called to be a clone. You're not called to be a copycat. You're not called to be a monkey see, monkey do. You're literally creating portals of newness, of new birth, of new expression from this higher consciousness that you're creating from your awareness. So what matters literally matters. It materializes into form. So I guess it's just allowing our hologram to give us that insight to what has mattered and where we are placing our awareness now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm hungry. I need to have some lunch. It's only 11 o'clock. All right, I'll give myself another minute. If anybody would like a quickie for sharing out, let me know, and I'll pull you a Magical Dimensions card. And I'll take this, we'll talk about this in the Masters group tonight. I know I didn't cover everything. I was just kind of trying to give a synopsis. And anybody out there watching now or later who would like to be part of the Master Light Blaster group, that's exactly what it is. It is just allowing the darkness, allowing the density, allowing the hologram to literally activate those codes of light that we've come to bring forth. allowing all to activate our light, our remembering, our bringing forth new form in this timeline. So let me know, guys, if anybody would like a quickie. Say yes. I see Christy. I know Facebook user is Wild Blue. And Diava. I don't know if Tristan's still there. Thank you guys for sharing out. Thank you for tuning in, like always. See you in the evening. Good day, Christy. All right, guys. Last call. Would anybody like a magical dimension? And know that we're all reflecting each other in ways to bring ourselves just awareness to our own energy. We're all reflections of one another. I know I did a little post the other day and it says, we're not here to save anyone. We're here to simply reflect one another. And I find that so beautiful because we all have come with our own codes, with our own light. And as we shine that and as we express from our authenticity deep within us, bringing forth that new knowledge, which is just remembering, we give each other that opportunity to also activate and bring forth our own individual codes of light. Hey, Lauren, how are you? I inboxed you. Okay. All right, guys. All right. I guess that's it. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light, the light that you are anchoring, bringing forth for the collective to enjoy as a reflection of themselves, those codes. Shoot.